so thankful, just so thankful. Like, y'all don't even understand. So excited. I've been waiting for this.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Tanae Monique, and welcome back to my channel. Y'all know what time it is. It's Testimony Tuesdays. Have you ever been in a place of wanting to give up, feeling like your work that you do is gone unnoticed, that you're doing things for no reason, that it serves no purpose, that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired? This video is for you. Some of you guys know that last September, I was about to move back to Columbus, Ohio, where I'm from. God had something else in mind. It got so hard last year that I just like, you know what, God? I'm sick, I'm tired of going through this, I'm tired of the ups, I'm tired of the downs, I'm tired of struggling. Like, I just want to be comfortable. I just want to be stable. Like, I want to be good. I don't want to be up and then be down. Like, I just want to be consistent. Like, what is going on? Like, what am I not doing? So I'm just going to go back home, save up some money, and then I'll come back. Like, that's the easiest thing for me to do. I can't do this anymore. I sold everything that I had, started the process of getting ready to move back home, right? So 7 days exactly before I was about to leave Georgia, I got a phone call for this job that I applied for like months ago and have forgotten about it. Right after that, or right before that, I got blessed with a place to stay as well. And I actually had 2 job offers. So I was like, all right, God, I guess I'm staying. Like, I guess this means that I'm staying. And so I stayed and I started working for my church. And a lot of you guys know that I do have a passion for kids, and that's one of my purposes on earth. And I started working with them. And it was a part-time job, didn't pay much, and I was just like, God, don't know what you're doing, but this ain't enough. Like, thank you, but this job ain't it. Like, I need something else. And so I started working at the other job as well, and I did that for a little while. He let me do it for 3 months, and on that 3rd month, it just got to be so uncomfortable in this other job. And I was like, all right. Oh, he's like, I want you to quit this job. And I'm just like, bruh, why? He's like, whatever you make outside of me, you will sustain outside of me. And I think like 2 weeks later, or like a week later, I put in my 2 weeks. And I was like, God told me I gotta leave. And they were just like, all right. And so I'm just working this job for my church. Anybody know anything about church or nonprofit? Like, you don't make much. And this is not me complaining, but you don't make much. And I didn't realize that God was beginning this humbling process for me. And, you know, Tanae's always provided for herself. I've been out the house since I was 17. Like, didn't ask for nobody for nothing. Like, Tanae did it. And I didn't realize at the time that when I made so much money, I was dependent on myself, that I didn't really depend on God for anything. Because if he didn't do it, if he didn't come through, I got it. And in this season, he was teaching me, like, no, I need you to trust me fully. That was last September. And so I've been working this job, and I will say that
Don't make makes up for the fulfillment and the peace that I have and the joy that I have. And, you know, the things that I'm able to focus on by working the job.
when I got hired, my boss knew that I was only working there, so she allowed me room to grow. I was starting out working at nights and like our special events at church, so like any classes and stuff that we wasn't that many hours a week. I think maybe like 20 hours a week. Shortly after that, she asked me if I would be willing to work during the day with the daycare, and that would just be on an as-needed basis. And I was like, sure. So I started doing that, and at that time, my schedule was like all over the place, and I'm a person who works best when I have a set schedule, you know, stability, consistency. And I was just like, God, like, what are you doing? Like, I need to be doing something else. Like, this ain't it. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but I need to survive. But in this process, he was allowing me to be dependent solely on him in every area of my life. And he showed me that he provides for all of my needs every single day. The job came through him. He brought that. And I would not have this job if it wasn't for him. And so I'm just like, trying to be appreciative, try not to complain in my process. But I'm not going to lie, I got weary. There'll be days where I'm just like, I love this. I'm so happy. I'm so thankful. And then there'll be other days where I'm like, man, like, is this really my life right now? And I remember like thinking about like, oh, I'm going to apply to this job, or I'm going to look for this. Nothing came up, or nothing sat right in my spirit, because I knew that God didn't call me to it. And I don't want to be all the way over here when God wants me to be here. And so I just stuck it out. I was just like, Lord, every time my check would come, I'd just be like, God, you're my provider. Like, I had to tell myself that over and over. Some days I would fail and worry, and some other days I would succeed. But the bottom line is that I kept pressing and I didn't give up. More recently, I've just been tired, and I was just like, this is it. Like, I'm looking for something else, more stable. Like, there's no way I can keep working like this. And it's not even about the money at this point. It's about the fact that I don't have a consistent schedule. And he was like, he didn't say anything. And so one day I'm praying and I'm like, God, like, okay, like, for real, like, what are we doing? Like, what are you doing with my work situation? What am I supposed to do with that? What does that look like? How are you going to help me? How am I supposed to keep trusting you? And you're not doing anything. And he's like, ask me the last thing I told you to do regarding this situation. And so I'm like, okay, what did you tell me to do last? Be still and know that I'm God. Clear as day, like so clear. And I'm just like, okay, so I guess I'm not leaving the church. And I was like, okay. I think like 2 days later I go to work, and one of the ladies I work with, she's like, we just had a meeting today with the parents and with your boss, and just keep praying, but we want you. Like, we want you to work with us. And I'm like, okay, I had heard it before, but I was just like, it wasn't guaranteed. So I'm just like, you know what, Lord, if it is or if it ain't, help me to just be grateful, because you know best. And so I think like a couple of days later, it was kind of like, I didn't really believe it. So I was just like, I don't really know, God, because I'm not hearing it from the people who I need to hear it from. So I'm just going to keep trusting you. And they were like, I don't know what that process looks like. There's like, but just look online and see if there's a job posting and apply to it. And do you got a resume? Like, get that ready and da-da-da-da. And so I'm praying to God, because I'm like, I hate doing resumes. And I haven't updated my resume in a while. And I'm like, God, what about this resume? Like, what does that look like? He's like, did I tell you to go write a resume? I was like, no. He's like, be still. It's like, okay. And then I was like, okay, trying to apply to the job. Now the site had been down because they're doing they're switching programs or something like that. So nobody could even apply for anything. And I was like, I can't even apply. He's like, did I tell you to apply? And I'm like, no. He's like, be still and no. And I'm like, okay, all right. So the next day or 2 days later, something like that, my boss sits me down and offers me a more stable position with set hours, no nights, no weekends, a pay raise. And I'm just like, what? Like, what, God? Like, seriously? Like, you love me that much? Like, if we can just endure to that last little bit, because it's at the end where we want to give up the most, if we could just push all the way through that breakthrough, through that blessing, oh my goodness, he will blow your mind what he has for you. And it's not even about that. It's just about that process and trusting him in that process and trusting him and knowing that even though it doesn't feel like it, even though it doesn't look like it, even though it doesn't sound like it, even though that all the signs say no, that he is still working it out, and that it's never going to be on our timing. It's never going to be how we want it to be, but it's always going to be in his perfect timing, and he knows us better than we know ourselves. So why would he not know how we need to receive certain things? Some of the highlights in this whole situation is that even though the job board was down, and I knew why the job site was down, I look at it as God chose me for this position because the lady didn't want anybody else but me. And so nobody else could even apply to that position. He didn't make me apply to the job. He didn't make me have to have a resume because he called me to that. So even though I felt like it was time for me to leave, he said, no, I'm not done with you here. You're not finished at this place yet. I have so much more to show you and to teach you and to mold you in ways to shape you. So if you just trust me, let me do it. I got you. I got you. And it was just, and it's still something I'm just taking in, like things that I've been praying for. I've been praying to have, like I said, have more stability, have certain benefits, have something as small as like a badge. It's like, wow, God, like this is how you're going to do it. Like, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. So thankful. And I give God all the glory because it was nothing but him. Like, this had nothing to do with me at all. Nothing to do with me. And so I want to leave you guys with, do not give up your fight. Do not remember that God is always working things out, even if it doesn't feel like it. He's always working something out behind the scenes. And it's at those times, a lot of times it's in those moments where we feel like he's not doing anything at all, that he's doing the most. And he's not going to give you something that you're not ready to receive. He's going to make you go through the process if you allow him. Yeah, you can go off on your own way and end up all the way over here when you're supposed to be right here. And I'm just trying to be intentional about everything that I do. I'm just trying to be led by him every single step. And I know I'm going to mess up, and I know I'm going to have moments that I'm weak. But the beauty in it is that I can have these conversations, these real conversations with God, and be authentic about how I'm feeling, and just to thank him anyways. Be grateful anyways. Okay, you're not feeling it right now. You feel like you want to complain. Just hold it in or get it out, and then don't keep bringing it up. Tell him how you feel and move on from it. Trust me when I say, I promise you, it'll all be worth it in the end. I know waiting is not easy. It is not beautiful all the time, but you are growing so much in that waiting process, in that refinement process. You are able to really become who he's calling you to be. And without these processes and the way that he allows them to happen, you will not get to where you want to go. So don't think that what you're doing is for no reason, because there's a purpose for every single thing that you do. Don't allow your doubt, your worry, the enemy to get in your head and to allow you to believe a lie, because I know this for sure. If God promised you something, it will come to pass, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's 5 weeks from now, whether it's 10 years from now. If he told you he's going to do something, he's going to do it. But just know that it's not going to be on your timing. It's going to be on his perfect timing. And you're going to look back and you're going to be like, wow, thank you, God, for not giving me that too soon, because I wasn't ready. Even though we feel like we're so ready for these things, God created us and he knows best. And so this week, wherever you may be in your walk, in your life, on your journey, if you've fallen, if you've failed, if you've given up hope, I just pray that this testimony ignites a fire inside of you, gives you motivation and that desire to keep going, or to go back to that thing that you've given up because you've lost hope. Get your faith back, because God will never break a promise. He will never not fulfill what he said he's going to do. And as long as he really said it, it will happen. It will happen. I am a walking testimony. I promise you. And I'm so thankful. Your girl got a promotion. This thing, like what? Say my I love y'all so much. Comment below. Let me know what you thought about this video. I will be back for some more testimonies. And I just love you guys so much. Thank you for everyone who believes in me, who prays for me, who looks forward to seeing these videos. And I just pray that this blesses you so much. Be blessed. Mwah.